All right, everybody. Little music in the beginning. Do, 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 do. Welcome.
We'll work
Welcome,
on a good
everyone,
intro. That's not going to get flagged for copyright.
No.
to the second Off the Cup episode. Thank you for joining us here. We have a full hour of Google and Chrome updates. We've got listed. We've tweaked some stuff from the first time, and we hope that you enjoy the adjustments. And any kind of feedback is welcome. So, I want to have Eric introduce yourself first. Who are you? What you've been doing?
Yes.
Anything cool going on with your life lately?
Yeah. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Andrea. It's
Hi,
Friday.
yeah.
That's good. Love Fridays. Things are good. I had a boot camp yesterday, level 1 boot camp, so that was fun. Always fun to do those. I haven't had a chance to catch up on the update stream that you guys did earlier this week, but that is on my to-do list this afternoon. So I think we'll end up talking about some of the same updates that you talked about Tuesday. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's pretty much what we're going. That's pretty much what's going on in my neck of the woods. So
Awesome. Cool. Andrea, how's it going in Labs World and your world?
It is going well. It is Friday. Friendo Zone Friday is popping out a little bit later today because I'm adding some additional stuff to it. But going good. I went to a Pink concert on Friday
heck
or
yeah,
Wednesday. Jeez, Wednesday. And my brain still isn't fully recovered because I think that's how you know I'm getting old. I need multiple days to recover from a concert. But it was amazing, and she's a top seller, like top sell outer or whatever of the concerts here in Detroit. It was like 45K plus at Comerica Ballpark, so more than on a lot of the games, which is crazy. And I seen that she did the same thing in Milwaukee, so she's just topping all the charts. It was great. Such a cool concert
nice.
with all the acrobatics and stuff. I had like no voice yesterday when I came back, so good things all around over here.
And I heard that you got so inspired with the acrobats and the hanging down that you are now taking those classes
I have thought
that
about it too.
you,
Yeah, to just be able to start hanging from rafters and stuff and
yeah.
do some cool like Cirque du Soleil type things.
And
That's gonna be my
you know,
backup retirement plan is the circus. Yeah.
I feel like it should be the opposite. That's your first, and then you should have a backup from
Oh
that.
no. The first one's a Zamboni driver. I get to work like 6 months out of the year, go to all the games for free and see all the guys all the time. Like I don't there's no but and they make like 100K.
That's
That's
insane.
what
Oh,
I said. I'm like, I messed up
Yeah.
out of high school.
interesting. Interesting.
Looking at careers, and I could have been a Zamboni driver making 80 to 100K out the gate. Just
Well,
learning
maybe
how
the
to
next
drive in.
podcast is going to be crazy
Yeah. If you know
job there.
where a girl can sign up for Zamboni school, drop me a link.
Yes, for sure.
I'm
Awesome.
looking.
Great. And my name is Melissa Benson. And
What's up over
yeah,
there since we talked to you a couple
what'd
days
you say?
ago? Anything new in your neck of the woods? Across
I
the
don't
pond?
know.
Not pond,
Not
across the lake. Let's make it specific.
not
You're not in the UK.
Like,
not across the lakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing too much. It's getting to be state fair time and football
Ooh.
starting back up. And
yes.
my team, soccer team, lost. So that's been
Oh, in
yeah,
morning.
that's been a thing. But yeah, nothing much new here. So let's dive into our updates then. From that exciting update of Melissa's life to the exciting world, you know we had to do it. Classic sites, people. Classic sites are
LOL.
still here, still around. Eric, Andrea, did you use classic sites or like were classic sites in your Virginia
Not
and Oklahoma? Were
really.
they a huge thing years ago?
We had a couple of instructional coaches kind of dipping their toes in because I left like a year after Amplified helped us migrate all over to Google. So it was still like everybody was trying everything new and getting into it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't huge for me just yet, but I can imagine, especially with 2020, they probably opened the floodgates just to whatever teachers could potentially use in a crutch. So I'm interested to hear what that looks like for them too.
Yeah. We didn't really use. I mean, honestly, it was kind of the same thing. Like it was open, it was available. Someone's may have they may have dabbled in it. I did maintain our help desk for the district, but it wasn't on the classic sites. Like it was by that time they had already
Oh,
been, and so like
Uh,
we were, yeah,
really?
we weren't using their classic one to do it. But yeah, like we've hosted a help desk before, like via Google Sites for sure. So
yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm so old compared to you. Like with classic sites, I feel like classic sites were huge, like around here, and more on the like e-portfolio. I know a lot of the different
mm-hmm.
schools and even the collaborative members. That's why I always pull on Nathaniel from
Yeah,
Edina because Molly and Nathaniel, like they at Edina, they were doing a bunch of e-portfolio, and there was just hundreds and thousands
Yeah.
of those. So the reason why classic sites are back in the news, actually, it was Chanel that posted. She's been finding lots of stuff in one of our chats. The classic site migration, automatic migration, is happening. It was supposed to the automatic migration was supposed to happen in January. So I know I've told you guys this a lot, but Google said that in January when they were going to migrate any classic site that wasn't dealt with, like it's legit, it's still there, it's not migrated over. Google would do you a solid and migrate it over to a new site draft because we don't want to, lose that data. And so when I read up on this, and especially the last couple of months, there was two big pieces of impact, which is why it's important, and we're talking about it now, is if you still have classic sites that weren't dealt with, it's going to be automatically transferred, migrated into a new site draft for all your teachers and your users. So that means as they're coming back to work
And
and
they
they
see
go
that
into Drive,
in
they
their
will
drive.
see,
Yeah.
in their Drive. Yep. Now, probably the interface where they'd see it most is if I don't know how you guys go into your Drive, but there's the Drive, but then there's the Docs interface, the new
mm-hmm.
sites
Yeah,
interface, and I feel like the
Mm,
new sites interface, which I never go directly to the service
no.
ones, I feel like those are the ones where it would be like, oh my gosh.
Right. Like if they
So
were gonna go create a new one, they're just like, like draft.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So depending on what your teachers, what their main page is, they might not even see it. Um, but if they do come back and they could see a whole bunch of them. And then the second impact, if you are the primary admin, and I am in our demo domain, if you're the primary admin and Google tries to do that migration for you, right? And if there's no owner that's like still there, it pops you as the primary admin, it pops you as the owner.
Did
So
we
in
know about
my
that like in the beginning? Like when they first started talking about how the migration was gonna work?
Did they say that?
Yeah.
Yes. And I circled it
Wow.
in a screenshot, and I'm like, oh. And
Like 2
so
years ago when we started talking about
no,
this?
no,
Yeah.
no. It was one of the last ones because I felt so proud of myself in when I posted in the community and I did a screenshot of our forgot what month um of the impact of this is what could happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If
If
you're
I would have known, I
watching,
would have created a bunch of them just so they could have flooded your demo account
yeah,
with
and
sites.
and I haven't looked into do those take up space?
That would be interesting to know, like for the domain, if that takes up
Does it
storage.
take up
Yeah.
space? I haven't fully um, wasted my time doing that just because I don't know. I feel like I'm making a big like there's a fire. Um, what
Have
I
they
would what I
asked
would
for a sites gopher? Is there things that would be potentially
no
contributed
you
to
don't.
one?
So the new sites are Drive. So you're already so your
We're already
team's
there.
already got it.
Yeah, we're
Go,
already
go
ahead
for
there.
Drive. The old sites, classic sites, Google actually their classic sites manager is really legit.
Yeah.
You already have access to all that, and you can go in there. It shows you the banner. It created an archive zip file of the data. You can see the status of it, and when it's all done, the admins you will get an email saying it's complete. If I were you, what I would do, and what I was telling folks on Tuesday, go into your audit log, like super simple. Go into your audit log, look up the Google Drive audit log. And what I would do, I'm finding that the new site drafts, the title always contains converted. So just do contains converted, you'll get a whole list. That way you'd be able to see just how many drafts are there, who the owner is. I would export that baby into a sheet so it's easier to manipulate.
Yeah.
And there could be one or two people that might freak out or might you might need to connect with. I don't think this is a email the entire staff.
It's not a blast email for like back to school.
No, because you're going to probably get more questions on that. So you have the data in your audit logs. You know who's impacted. Super simple, super easy. You just connect with those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with other things that Andrea didn't pay attention to.
Wait, let me get my white. Let me put it on my.
You got a whiteboard?
Yeah.
She has a running list.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I have a running list. Yeah.
It's
just to the side. You can't see it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. The scroll. Okay.
Talk to me about the cloud search. Because guys, I can't remember if Eric on earlier when I told Melissa. I've heard us talk about cloud search now for, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 years, whenever this started, right? And I was kind of like, it's there, like it's fine. Like I just was like, oh, you're searching like another search engine. I don't care. So when she showed this on Tuesday, I was like, oh, like it searches across all your things. Like this is actually pretty cool. And I'm like, how do I tell Melissa that one of her most beloved things? I had no idea what it did.
She told me today. She said, "Can I tell you something without you getting mad?"
I did.
And then she told me, Eric, in your security summits, because Cloud Search is a part of the Enterprise Suite with the Plus Suite. Give me your pitch on cloud. How do you and the Academy team talk about Cloud Search, if you do talk about Cloud Search?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something we mention. I won't lie, it's typically in passing, just because it's not. It's not. I don't know. It's not one of the primary features I wouldn't consider, at least from a school standpoint. Now, when I describe it, and in the one slide that it merits, whenever we have it, we describe it as a unified search across your entire workspace domain, right? So if you're searching for Gmail, if you're searching for a particular Gmail, where do you normally go? You go to your Gmail and you start searching your way. If you're looking for a Drive file, where do you normally go? You go to Drive, you search away. This is the same thing, only you don't have to narrow it down to one of those apps, right? You just go to Cloud Search and it will, you search for it the same way you'd like to. In fact, you could probably even just use natural language and it'll bring it up, no matter where it was. And that's even true for me sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like, I think it was a Drive file, but it came through an email, and then it's just like I can't remember exactly. And so like I end up checking both, and I end up going through like 30 minutes of rabbit holes to try and find the right search. Cloud Search is just, it's one of those things. It's a unified search across your workspace data. I honestly I think it's immensely useful. I don't mean to like stab your dreams there with what it is, Melissa. I think it's valuable. I think it has a presence problem right now, in that it's not
hidden, right?
It's kind of hidden.
In the
it
waffle?
really is. You've got to try.
I'm gonna throw up a screen share as you're continuing to describe this.
Yes. What was it?
Where do you access it?
Well, it's a core service, so you have it on. And Eric, what are the? Is it just Plus?
Yes. Yep. Just Plus. So you'd have to be on the paid edition too, or I'm sorry, the Plus edition of it to get it. But once you're there, cloudsearch.google.com, and then you're just like whatever. I'm trying to think if I can if I type in Andrea's name on mine, just for example, it'll probably bring up all mess of stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, Andrea, like, well, you can't see, but like on my screen, Andrea, like it's pulling up stuff from our Google Palooza session in Chicago from whatever.
No kidding.
So like it's just gonna bring up everything dealing with you, and then like I can sort like what I have with you across mail, drive, sites, groups, right? Like I can get.
This would have been helpful because Chad hit me yet last night at like 4 when my brain's already gone. He's like, "Hey, you shared something with me at one point in time about updates for all of the tools, but I can't find it." And I'm like, good God. I was like, I don't even know either. But so that's what I was doing. I was checking like my meet recordings and my docs and the email. So this probably would have been easier just to do it all the way across. I wasn't doing it multiple different times. But this is snazzy. I'm not lying.
It is
Like Melissa,
snazzy.
you picked a good feature, but I agree. Like it's not as easily accessible as like me just going into Gmail or Drive or something like that.
You know, it'd
Uh,
make it better too, Melissa, is if it doesn't include search. It looks like, or I'm sorry, it doesn't include chat.
That's funny that
that
you say
would
that.
be
That's funny that you say
yeah.
that because when I was talking about it on Tuesday, I thought to myself, oh, it doesn't do chat.
That would be
Like how are you
that's
gonna
the
put
one I
sites
struggle
up
with the
there before
most.
chat?
But hold on, but hold
Yeah.
on, but hold on. Are chats just Gmail
So
objects?
I went and looked, and I didn't notice anything in the Gmail
I'm about to
part.
say
They
I don't
they were,
see
they were,
yeah.
but did that change?
It might have because yeah, it
Can I
looks
go
like
on a tangent as well? You all remember when Google Chat, like 2 years ago, used to be amazing with search? You could search by
oh
the
yeah.
different chips. I can search by, Stephen Gale with a link,
Yeah.
like it's like Clue,
Yeah.
like what in the library with, and they took it all away, and now they're slowly bringing that search back into chat. But you're
It's
totally right, Eric.
it was definitely a miss. I think that's probably the thing that I cringe at the most is trying to search through chat now. Like
Hmm.
for if I'm trying to find something that I know was posted, like in our GCS chat or our team chat. Good luck.
Yep.
And but then now I'm taking the other side. Then I would just go into my Google Chat and search.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Or I would go into the into well, the old school in Gmail. Like in Gmail, can you do a label chat?
In Gmail you can. Yeah.
Hmm.
In Gmail you can search chats. Yeah. So just not in here in the cloud search.
Yeah.
It
Well,
restricted
why
just
does
to
anybody use
Gmail.
cloud search anyways? I mean, come on. Well,
Why don't you put in a bug report? Be like, I'm your most favorite fan. The
XOXO.
MVP.
Okay, but the but the
XOXO.
whole thing after Andrea said, can I tell you something without you getting mad? I want you all to go into your domain, go into the favorite audit log. This is, and I would go to the cloud search audit log because cloud search, which for however many years, don't worry, I checked. I checked hundreds of times in those couple of years. It never showed data usage because I wanted to see, like, oh,
I
maybe
can see
people
who's
do use
using
it.
it. Yeah.
I don't know when it started, but I went in about a week ago. Cloud search audit logs now show results. You can see who uses it, the queries that they did. I think it was showing
Okay.
Donald was looking up Chanel Benson or something or another. Like you can see stuff.
Yeah.
So go in there and see if anybody's using it. And if like one person like a Melissa is really, really using it, I'd be curious to
Hmm.
see what
I
they're
can already
using
see
it
it
for
now.
because
What are their use cases? Yeah.
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 And what are they doing with it? Yeah. If they're
And
even
everybody was
using it
giving
right.
me everybody during the stream. There was at least 10 or 12 people that gave their stats. We had 80 people using it, 10 people, 20 people, and then we had the members who were being cheeky and said, "Yeah, 80 people out of 50,000." I'm like,
Out of
okay,
50,000.
okay, but
Yeah.
let's leave the percentages out of it. I just
Yeah.
like seeing the even 2 people or 5 people.
Yeah.
Go in there and look. There's data in the cloud search audit log. Go in there and look.
And it's just curious to me. I guess I never really thought about it, but we just saw, like Lisa was saying, that she has only students are using it. So is it on for everybody, off for everybody? Is it on for some? Like, can you dictate staff for students being able to use it? Or there's
Yeah,
a blanket on
Yeah,
and
it's
off?
a
yeah,
core
Eric, what do
service.
it's a
We
core
actually,
service, so you can do a group, an access group, or an
yeah, yeah.
OU. Eric, actually, and on your team, Beth too,
Mhm.
they were talking about the recommendations for who should have it on or off, and we were
Oh,
talking
that's right.
about how it does find it does what it's advertised. It searches across all the apps, and if you have access to it, then you'll find stuff. Well, I think some of the problem is with students, or actually step back, staff improperly sharing. Like how many documents
Yeah.
are set to like, oh, I don't
Right.
want to share it with 14 people. Let's do all staff. No, actually, let's do all
Anybody with a link.
anybody with the link, thinking I'm never going to give my student this link, but technically, if a
Okay.
student has the link, they can see it. So what's happening, and I believe it's still happening, is that students are searching and they're discovering the improper sharing for docs. So that
all
is
their test
causing
answers
us,
and
yep,
I
that
was
is
really
causing
just
us
gonna
to say,
ask. I was like,
maybe not on for students.
yeah, I was about to ask like, what's the downfall? But then yeah, that's right there. Because I know, at least for my stuff, when I share it for customers, like I just say anybody with a link. But if I was in a school and then had kids being able to search for this stuff,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
they
And
can
it's
find
not,
all the
it-
boot camp questions and answers.
ooh, we should test that out in our,
Why did I not think about that when I was going to take my test?
because we don't have cheaters in
Right.
Amplified and CDW.
Right. Fine.
That's really interesting. Lisa, if in the chat, if you're, what kind of searches are they doing? I forget
That'd
if
be
you're
curious
able to see
too.
exactly, but that's pretty. Now, my cloud search hopes are going to be on the students. Come on, students. Use this. I'm in the trendy crowd where I've given up on the adults. You
Right.
know the true power of cloud search.
You
The
said you
trendy
brought
crowd.
TikTok to the top. Let's see what you can do for cloud search.
Ooh, that sounded. Speaking of to the top, I have no segue. I thought I was going to have a segue in my mind. Andrea, I want you to talk about the linkable headings available in Google Docs.
You take that. Okay.
And I really wish that we didn't talk about it earlier so we could go through the same aha moments. All three of us were like, was this new? Why is this? That's not what I thought it
we'll
was.
still do it because I was only half paying attention. So it'll still probably be new for me. So when we first talked about this update on Tuesday, so it's the linkable headings are now available in Google Docs. And this is where if you mark something as heading 1, now it's only heading 1 for right now, and you right click, there's a copy to heading link. Not what I thought it was, but basically what that does now is it basically makes anything that's a header 1 a link without underlining it and calling it blue, anything like that. So you can right click that copy to header, go to a different doc, you can email it to somebody and paste that link and it takes them directly to that header.
I would consider it like an anchor link if you're like old school, like HTML, an anchor link.
Right. I also was not aware that that's what it was called, but because I was like, oh, that's kind of like how when I'm sending somebody a link.
That's going to be here. One good thing is I learned what an anchor link was.
Because I'll do that all the time. Like for when I'm sending help center articles, I'll be like, go to this. It'll drop them right to that section in the article. So maybe not necessarily new because there was ways to do it before, but easier. So if that wasn't something that you were even aware that you could do because it wasn't actually an official link, like there is that now. So not game changer by any means, but just easier.
Eric, did you ever? Yeah. So the reason why I want to talk about this is just to confirm that this was possible before, because while the update, and this update wasn't a full blog post update, when they do the
like the non-blog posts.
No, when they do the Friday afternoon recap. Uploads. Look at the top because there's sections that say 2 new blog posts and they're usually minor. So this was actually one that was in the top if you didn't read that recap. And yeah, it was just talking about headers and being able to make the header like a link. And the way that I was doing it, I'm like, that was already possible. But the way that I was doing it, if you notice when you're in a document and you're using a header, if you click in the middle of header 1, if you click your cursor, look at the URL, it changes. the URL changes to a hashtag or what pound
Right.
sign header, it changes the
Mhm.
URL. That's why when you bookmark something and you
It'll
think, I
go
already have
to that.
bookmarked, it's because the URL is different. Normally it's a /edit, but headers have a bunch. So what I just did is made a header, put my cursor in there, went to the URL, copied it, and then made a manual link in the top of my manually
Mhm.
made table of contents or in like an email.
I don't think I ever pay attention because that link is always so long. So like I never pay attention that it actually
Yeah.
does change unless
Really?
you call it out. Yeah,
Does it
'cause
get cut off for you? Because my
well,
window's
yeah,
always full.
depending if I don't the size of my window, yeah.
But you don't ever bookmark something and then realize. Oh my
All
god!
the
Now
time.
we're going into
All the time.
whenever I bookmark something,
Yeah.
I click away from the headers. I always bookmark a doc, and I put my cursor so it says /edit,
Like
the
something
straight
else
up page,
after.
so I don't have 3 bookmarks going to the same thing, but a different page or point in the page.
Yeah. I think I do. Like I don't think I'm ever really specifically clicked, but then I also will know that I clicked that star and then I can't find it in my bookmark. So maybe I am bookmarking specific areas and I'm gonna go when I go to do my yearly cleanup, I'm like, why do I have 17 bookmarks for this one URL?
Eric, do you know what I'm talking about with the
I mean,
URLs on the doc, or
I know
is
it.
it?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I never did that. Like that was never anything I did. So
Yeah, I'm not that.
I
Yeah,
have
I
it's
a
way
don't.
more advanced
feeling.
than us
I
in the grid.
I think that this is probably something that you're right, Melissa. This is probably something you were able to do, and now they've just added a faster button. I
A
think it's
right
probably
click.
yeah, like I don't know. I like yeah. If you edited your MySpace, then you probably knew how to do this.
I used to
And
get
what
in the
they've
coding of
so
that.
what they've done
Eric,
is they've added a
Yeah.
button for all the
that
Gen Z people who didn't have MySpace.
Yeah.
that is so true,
That's such
and
a good reference.
and I and I feel like we need to save that reference because I think there's so many different types of things that can be explained with that.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
think so too, because honestly, somebody told me you could still get into MySpace, and I haven't tried, but the things we used to do as children to be able
I
to
know.
edit those themes, and I completely forgot about that because now if I've got to do HTML like in the club because their editors aren't great, I get so irritated and I'm Googling everything. But I'm like, 10-year-old you used to do this on the
I know.
fly in keyboarding class. Like, what's
I
the matter
know.
with you?
Good times.
Put some
Those poor
spacing
services
here,
out of
do
your
a
brain
break
that just go.
here.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's nice. I mean, it takes away one of my potential geek speaks where I could say link to header.
Oh yeah.
You could still geek speak it.
I wouldn't be
It's a big
surprised if I
thing.
actually did that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think you guys are right. It's just added into the end user
Mhm.
interface, right click, and it's there. And hopefully that brings it attention that people like, oh, cool, that would be a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Talk about
Any other cool things we can do in Google Drive, Eric, that caught your eye? Actually, anything in beta?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, so let's talk about that. So in beta, and I think this is probably hit on Tuesday, but and I've got some if you haven't seen this before, it's the e-signature for Google Docs and Google Drive and launching for beta. And the screenshots are basically everything I ever dreamed that I would hope this would be for the most part. So what this is
So many
doing
great quotes from Eric so far
is
already.
it's basically allowing you to do e-signatures now, right? Official and not just like pithy little e-signatures, right? Like they threw us a bone and so now they have a little thing where we can do something at the bottom. No, like this is like legit, like it's going to have audit trails, multi-signer abilities. It's going to go all out. And so I just remember like back in the day, like 2012 or 2013, we were wanting to like replace like bus checkouts and POs because we were using triplicate papers and stuff like that. And we were wanting to use like Google Docs and stuff, but it just didn't have the logic that it needed to do all the flows that we had to get those approvals done. This starts to answer some of those problems that we were having at least. And I imagine it answers a lot of other issues that other schools or businesses have. I also, and I mentioned this earlier, right? Like this is Google just basically saying incentivizing the product plus the paid editions even more by further demonstrating how you can consolidate your purchases into one product, right? You already have it to where you could eliminate your Zoom subscription, you could eliminate Turnitin, and just wrap it all up into Plus. Well, now you can say, well, if you're using DocuSign or any other competitor that's doing the same kind of thing, well, maybe this answers
Hold
it
on,
for
does
you.
CDW sell DocuSign licenses?
I have no
Dude,
idea.
I have no idea.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
I have no idea.
And that's not to say, because this is true of everything, right? Like if you have an entire company based around a product, let's say DocuSign, for example, right? Then you're obviously going to have different, you know, things built around it that entice that product offering. And Google doesn't necessarily go after every single feature that another company has, right? But what I would argue, and I think Docs is proof of this, at least, and this is the way I always communicated it to my schools, especially when they're like, well, why should we be using this predominantly over Microsoft Word or whatever else? And I think this is going to be mostly true here, which is, listen, I'm not saying that Word is useless or what, like, no, none of that. We should have it, of course, obviously. What I'm saying is that for the majority of the things you do, for 90% of the tasks that we do, we only need 10% of what Word does, right? And so that's what Docs is. Docs is the 10% of the utility we actually use. And I have a feeling the e-signature piece here will probably follow a very similar path. It may not be everything that these other companies built on this are able to do,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's going to be what's essential that 90% of people need to actually do it. And if they can do it and not have to pay whatever on the third-party contract, then they will. So
You know what? It's a little bit of a parallel to Google Calendar appointment slots.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, for the available.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because
Exactly.
I think I had to go back and look when I bought my house in 2021. Both my realtor and my mortgage company, when they were sending me stuff, was sending it to me in Google Docs or Sheets or whatever we were using that way. But I couldn't obviously sign it in there, so we had to use DocuSign, and the
Mhm.
mortgage company used some other third party. So it was like
Mhm.
really inconvenient. It would have been super more streamlined to have this in there. Was confusing to me when I was looking at this because I thought it said open beta, but you still have to sign up for it to have it. But
Yeah.
for the
That was my
availability, it says
question.
this is where we're gonna get into that nonprofit profit thing. It says
Okay, Roz.
education standard plus essentials plus whatever and nonprofit customers.
No. Okay. So Eric,
the
it
availability.
says in the blog post back in June 2022, there was alpha testing,
Right.
Mhm.
probably for consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the individual subscribers, open beta, which means they don't have to sign up.
Right.
But for us,
As
it's a beta that you have to get approved.
so, like consumers can still do it without signing up for it, but anybody in a
Right. But
workspace
managed
a
managed
managed tenant has to
accounts.
do it. Okay.
Right. They have to sign up for the beta. There's a form for that
And
beta.
Eric, is this
So then, is the nonprofit customers anybody like on their own?
Nonprofits is like nonprofits is like a designation, kind of like EDU is. So like
So if you
EDU,
don't have a
nonprofit
paid,
business. Right. Yeah.
So if you
So
don't
they're
have a paid
just
version, but you're a nonprofit, then you can use it as an org.
yeah. So
Okay.
like I don't know, like local government or 401, basically a not a school,
Right.
but a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like charity or something like that.
Because I'm
Maybe.
over here like, honey, I ain't got no profits. Do I? Do I
no.
qualify?
And I believe it's, if I'm reading this right, and if it's right on Google's end, it's for Education Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So only Education Plus can even sign up for this beta. And Eric, did you read into this? This is what intrigued me. They said this feature will be available as a part of a larger beta, which
Mhm.
includes access to new custom email layouts in Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I just clicked on that for the first time. I guess being able to make templates, like more for small businesses with the booking appointments and stuff in there. Yep.
Now, email templates are already a thing.
Yep.
But maybe it's available for us, but not necessarily for the consumer. I'll be honest and tell you that I have not tried to send like booking links on my personal before for them to be able to book time with me.
This feature will be available as part of a larger beta.
Right.
What's this larger beta?
Well, I clicked on that link in there, And
Which
that's
one?
talking about being able to help small businesses manage appointment bookings and templates for your emails that include the appointment booking. I'm over here messing with appointlet.
Yeah.
So, which is going to be super helpful for those small, like the mom and pops. Melissa, were huge supporters and users of your favorite Event-O-Matic. Like that was really 98% of our customers when it was available to non-EDU was small mom and pop shops, using that for them to be able to book and keep track of appointments and stuff like that. So I love seeing this for them to be able to be using. Now it still does say it's going to be part of a paid version for consumers, or well, I don't know. It's got all the different paid
Individuals.
versions in
Yeah.
there, as well as Education Standard Plus. All fundamentals is in here too, though.
What?
And nonprofits are in the coming months.
And
So
where? Wait.
fundamentals,
And where for what?
the appointment booking and the new custom layouts and stuff.
Oh.
It looks like it's coming for open for everybody. So I'm excited to see what that is because that would be helpful for them too, from a non-education standpoint. But then for all of our customers on fundamentals to be able to use that too. I like that.
I wonder if we may be able to look at some of our information and roadmap stuff to understand what this larger beta is, because right now Plus can sign up for this beta. Plus also, I'm not sure standard, but also they've got the Gmail layouts stuff, the branding, whatever. So it seems like there's this larger wrapper around Gmail communication, Drive, transaction stuff that maybe will make sense.
Yeah,
Like definitely leaning in, just
getting
hearing,
into that.
but it's going to be there for education as well. And
I would
maybe, I
think,
don't know,
yeah,
maybe it's as simple as it's just integrated the requesting and adding signatures. Maybe it's just sending links and it's
Did
integrated.
you?
Like it's in Drive, and now we can just integrate it with Gmail. I
I
don't know.
would say, did you look at that link for the templates that are coming? Because apparently, maybe because there is some templates in here. I have never ever looked at templates in Gmail, but some of these look so cool. Like I would sound like such a better professional adult if I were probably to use some of these templates.
Yeah, they look good. I've explored them. It's just like, and I've thought the same thing. Like, I just need time to explore them a bit and how would I can start something using them. But
Maybe it's something we can get.
I'd set these up for like the onboarding emails and stuff. So, because I'm one that will either copy and paste or just retype every time, and then by the 17th one, I'm irritated with myself for just typing the same things over and over
Let
again.
me see what's in Gmail.
Like to get to the templates, it's down like in the 3-dot menu at the bottom if you've got that bar under templates. Like I have no saved, obviously.
Oh, you're in the end user piece, but there's.
So I don't know where you create templates at.
Layouts. That's what I was thinking of.
Where are the layouts at?
This layouts are underneath Gmail user settings.
Oh, is that the settings?
And it doesn't have a little purple flag, but this is a paid for, I'm pretty sure. All it has is allow layouts. Let users insert predefined email layouts with customizable footers, images, and colors. I wonder if there's going to be a next generation of layouts
Colors
to be.
too?
I think that's what it
They're about
is.
to be so much more happy.
I think it's just new versions of whatever they've already, or just new layouts.
You start getting emails from Andrea, and they're like,
They're all
night and day.
fancy.
Yeah, well, we know this isn't her.
It's like super simple emails too, like,
can't
"Hey,
hurt.
how are you?"
Yeah.
But it's like all ornate, like
She's spent some fancy
like
purple. Yeah.
Okay, but can I talk about what I'm excited about, kind of with eSignatures that we can do on Chrome version 115, but it's got to be a specific version 115. I talked about this in the last 2 live streams, and for you folks watching the video piece here, in version 115. Blah 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 blah. You can get my bearings here. Files. So on Chrome OS, on Chromebooks, in the standard core gallery app, the ability to insert a signature is possible. Now, when I tried to do this and open up the gallery app, open up a PDF, when I tried doing that a couple weeks ago, it wasn't allowing me to. And I was saying the other day, Andrea, I have updated to version 115, I swear 3 different times, and finally the third time, I am finally seeing the sign icon on the top bar of the standard gallery app. So when you open up a PDF or actually open up an image, on the top it has, page 1 of 25, the text formatting, the squiggle, and then there's a brand new little squiggle for a sign, for a signature. So you click on that signature, opens up the sidebar, and then you can actually do several different iterations and keep your signature here.
So
this is not paid. This is a separate thing. I want to be clear. Like the e-signature, Eric, like yours is way more cool and useful. But this is built into Chromebooks, to Chrome OS.
Right.
That's a pretty big deal. Like I love when they build in these useful features right straight into Chrome OS. Because now it's not going to take me 3 weeks to figure out how to print and sign and get my printer up and then do this, and then it's out of ink, and then I'm like, spend $50 just to do my taxes.
This is like this kind of thing right here is like, so the last place I was at, the last district I was at, their onboarding process for like new hires was just a ton of documents in a manila folder, and they mailed it to you, and you were having to, right? And then so like this is the kind of thing where like it eliminates those micro inefficiencies for a process like that, right?
Mhm.
Okay, well now you're just going to email those PDFs, and now you're just going to open it up right in, and because it's baked into the OS, boom, sign. I mean, that's a lot of time that kind of task takes, and now it saves it. So
can I plug potentially Apple for a hot second here? Was this the time where Apple's was in front of Google with this option in the preview, like you being able to drop in a signature?
Say that again.
These before
probably, I mean,
I know that I've
so.
done that a couple times.
Yeah.
Now.
What
Yeah, like in preview, which is Apple's, their version of their PDF viewer. Yeah.
Oh.
You can drop signatures. In preview.
Because I have admittedly done that a couple times this past year, and I was thinking about that when I was trying to find my shirt for this. I was like, you know what? I think there's one time where Apple got it done first.
Well, I mean, it's because those are full on expensive, large, I can do anything platforms. And with the Chromebook, it started with the most basic. And what they're doing is we're like, instead of having a bloated computer and you're not utilizing 75%, Google realizes that some stuff is needed. So let's just bring those back. Like
it's taking a shot at a MacBook because
no.
I think we are different because we just live in Google, so we live in Chrome. But I think like a normal person would probably use more Apple things.
The whole concept is, and Eric was saying it earlier, is like, so this is what you need. You need a browser, you need some doc stuff. Oh, we actually need this thing and this thing. And so they're putting just like module. They're putting the things in there that you need. Now, if it doesn't make sense to put in, I don't know, like this is probably a bad example, but like huge video editing, are they going to put something into Chrome OS just to satisfy 15%? Or are they going to allow an Itopia or something else, or use MacBook, have the cart of these? Like, don't just put something into something because a percentage of the people need it. But once the mass needs it, like something like this, like that's a screen recorder. Right? To bring the screen recorder, like that's
Yeah.
something that's pretty standard.
Yeah. And they have one now on Chromebooks, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem, I was going to use it. The problem now, they've improved the screen recorder in that you don't have to be on a Chromebook to view it. Like if they're in your domain, you can give them a link, but it views the video
Is it
like within Drive or something.
Oh, really?
Because I tried to do it to download it to upload to YouTube,
Right.
and it doesn't
Not great.
create a video like an MP4 or something.
Hmm.
And if I'm wrong, then I might be wrong. But
you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to plug the PDF gallery in version 115. Because when I talked about it, I said, I'm not seeing it yet. And now I'm seeing it.
Now you're seeing it.
It's a worthy plug.
Let's transition over to the fun classroom things that have been coming out.
All right.
Yeah. So I got one more here, and that will segue nicely into classroom. So yeah, somewhat on the fringe of classroom, but this is about Canvas, and it's, from what I'm understanding, basically it's allowing you guys now, or allowing your users, to create Drive objects, right? Drive items within the Canvas interface now, right? So instead of, I guess, having a ping pong back and forth, you can just create the items within Canvas LMS and collaborate from within there. I know there are already connections for Canvas within Drive, because like we had Canvas at my last district. We actually had almost everyone else on Classroom except for one of our programs, and that was because of certain tests they had to take required a certain degree of security that Canvas, as a full-blown LMS, is able to provide, and Classroom was not. And so in that instance, like, it was just like we would have to connect that program via that LTI connection to Google Drive. And now, like I said, even then, though they were connected, they were still having to go to their Drive accounts, separate tab, separate window, whatever else, to do that work. Now it looks like you can just do it straight from Canvas. Without testing it myself, it's hard to say if it's as smooth or as intuitive. Like, do they just bring in the UI from Drive and then they just kind of supplant it into the Canvas? I don't know how that would work, but
hold up, I'm taking a master's class. We use Canvas at the U of M. Should I screen share?
All right, there we go. Like you have access to the product then.
Actually, it was pretty cool because I read about these right in Canvas, and I think it works great. But actually using it as an end user, I understand this more and why it's a big deal.
And it's all the cores, right? Like doc sheet, slides, not pages. Ooh, see, I blurred them, but like all of the
That's
different.
strike one.
As far as I understand, I know it's the primary apps like docs, slides, and sheets. I don't know if it would do the other ones, but to be fair, I would argue those are probably the ones you're collaborating on the most anyway. Yeah.
And I like that you can pick the people you're collaborating on with them right within that step or two in Canvas. So just automatically share that out with them.
It's just keeping you in there.
Like, what are people going to do with all of the save time? Like, we save you time with signing stuff. We saved 7 seconds for creating a doc.
It'll be more time that I find to waste on something else that I shouldn't. Instead of getting my time back to be more productive, I'll find it to do something.
You can do the aerobics in the air.
Just do like a quick flip at my desk.
Yeah.
And I am curious to see, like we were saying on Tuesday. So I know there was a couple statewide initiatives that happened a year or two ago where the whole state did a contract with Canvas. I don't know if that was just for 1 year. I know a couple had to do a 3-year thing. So we did have quite a few people say in the poll on Tuesday that they're still using Canvas. So I'm curious to see if this is a selling feature for them to stay after those initial terms, or if they decide to go back to Classroom or to something else. I think as long as they keep continuing, it kind of makes it seamless. If it is as seamless as they think it is from an end user standpoint, you'll have to let us know, Melissa.
Yeah.
Well, and actually you bring up a good point. Is now this is all done because of the core app assignments.
Correct.
So let's be clear. Does Google want to make it easy to integrate with other things or not? I mean, they're taking it. This is, yes, we want to make it easy for you to still use Google with Canvas.
I think it's
so like the fact that you're. I wonder if this will help them stay.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah,
more on like the business side of things, I guess.
But. Yeah, more from a business and just realizing that. you can't be the best at everything, no matter how
Yep.
hard you try. So being able to integrate,
Well, I mean,
and
talk for
partner.
yourself.
Hey, my ego's up there, baby. But I think being able to be humble enough to partner with people to be able to help more people, that's a mindset I'm still trying to work out. That's a Tim Lee thing that I'm trying to incorporate in my day-to-day life that I think serves well in the long haul, even though it's hard.
I think you do a pretty good job.
Yes. Well, thank you. I'm trying to be more like you. You and Eric are who I aspire to be when I
No,
grow up.
Eric, don't bring me in. Eric is
No,
on a level.
no,
Speaking of
I'm not.
sharing, I heard you can share classroom templates now.
Yeah.
I heard the same
So
thing.
this one, and I feel like I've said this multiple times today, and I feel like I should mark it down as a personal development to actually read things before I just take like the snippets and run with it. This was also an update that I took at face value, and it was not what I thought it was. So Google has a beta right now. You have to sign up for it. It's open until September 1st to be able to share a classroom template. Now, one of our bigger districts, when we started talking to them about going into Google, getting into the different labs tools, was one that was working on restructuring their entire curriculum. And this was one of the asks. They're like, we want to create a template class that everybody copies. So that way they have the same posts, they have the same assignments. Like it's basically a carbon copy of all of their stuff for their curriculum thing. So when I saw this, I was like, beautiful. This is what they're asking for. But it's only like half the cake. Like you're gonna have to, you can't have the whole cake. You got half of it here. So what it is there's a class that either you have to make that admin a co-teacher of or share it in a specific way that's listed out there. They can make the class work shareable. So you're able to share this class with somebody. They can go in and they can copy the assignments to a existing class the teacher already has, or they have to create a new one and copy it into that. So you're not copying the class. It's not a
So
whole class
you
template.
were thinking and wanting a straight up, I've got this object class. I'm gonna
Right.
just like a document.
Yep. And that way they can make a complete carbon copy of it and run with it. This is literally just the
Cut and
assignment.
paste the
Right.
content of the doc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
which
not
you helped
okay.
me understand, because like really what's a classroom? Like it's a box, but then it's really all of the assignments that you're looking to
Right.
copy. So it does help, and it is super helpful and easy if you're trying to standardize either verbiage or your assignments or how that thing runs. But you just have to have that class either existing already, or there is an option when you're copying it to create a new class.
You know what? But what you just said makes me change my mind. Creating consistency. When I
Right.
think consistency, I think colors, banners, the way classes are set
Correct.
up, the wrapper,
Yep.
and that's
That's
all
what they
what's not
essentially
in
That's
kind of
the
want.
and
currently.
that's not what you can't. Yeah, that's
That's
I
the
had
part that you can't.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I think of, Melissa. I'm thinking of like I think so. Classroom's the container, how
Yeah.
it's packaged, how it's built, how it's flows. That's what I think of as like template. That's what I think of as
Yeah.
like that's what you want to share. That's what you want
Yeah.
to standardize, and the
Yeah.
content. That's what's unique to the individual teaching.
Correct. That's what makes like each teacher different to that
Now,
are catering to their kids at that
Mhm.
point. So it's a little deceiving from the name. I don't want to necessarily like the name, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because it is in beta.
yes.
So there's still a lot of things that can change between now and when it comes out to the wild. So
We
if
should
that's something
ask
that
them.
you're
We
interested
should,
in,
yeah, if any collaborative members, and it's a beta, you got to
it
sign
is
up.
a beta. You have to sign up for it by September 1st. And it needs to be
September
the
1st.
admin. So I think if a teacher
Ah,
tries to sign up for it, it does kind of reroute them to say,
we'll have to
uh,
remind folks as they're getting back a couple times for this.
yeah.
Yeah, we should probably
So
just take a look at some of our insights in Google and see if this is just the beginning. And yeah, the because before I'm like, oh well, the content's important, but
yeah, it's just if you want everybody
hmm.
to look the same, that part's not there yet. And can we sign up for betas? Are we allowed?
I think it's getting harder and harder. Also, with our domains, like we want to
Yeah,
sort of keep
we
them
do
clean,
have
and
those. Yeah,
if
interesting.
anybody is in a beta, I feel
And
like
you want to be
we should
friends?
talk with members more. Yeah,
Yeah,
hop on a meet.
yeah. Along with those, there was two other kind of really cool updates that kind of are all linking together. But these are things that you're going to want to communicate out. So, start of year, when you're putting together all your emails to your teachers of, hey, make sure XYZ is ready. All these new things came out. Practice sets rolled out to everybody a couple months ago now. But obviously, as we all know, first iteration of things are always not great, or they're not at their finishing state. So they're starting to make practice that's a little bit better for all subject areas. I think
Oh.
math was really good and science was really good, but the rest of them were not great. So now you can do custom hints in practice sets. So all of the other subject areas that probably didn't have a lot of great ones from Google for their suggested hints can put their own
Oh.
custom ones in there. So when Beth and I were playing with these originally, that's kind of something that we called out. Like the English ones weren't super great for the different suggested
I
ones.
guess I didn't realize.
Yeah, so you're
That's
able to put
Mm.
your own ones in there, so you can either do something that's more catered towards maybe some resources of either the book that they were using or
Even
something
the
like that.
language that you
Like
use, like
say
teachers
YouTube,
know
yeah,
their students.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that is something that you need to communicate out with your teachers that is available to them now. So that's something that you want to tell them.
Because if they're not using it,
If
maybe
they're
they're
not
not using
using
it
it
because
at
of that.
all, that's a huge feature for teachers to have, is those practice sets. But then just being able to cater it to help the students more and make it more impactful for your kids, that's something that you want to tell them. The other thing is they roll out the ability to disable submissions for assignments after their due date. So a lot of
This
teachers,
wasn't there before.
it was not there before, which is
I
crazy. And I
love
know a lot
those.
of schools have gotten a little bit more lenient on this feature. So maybe this will be something to help bring you guys back to tighten it up a little bit.
Well,
But
just in time, the culture of grading relaxes. Now Google.
yeah,
I
now it's like
know.
let's try to bring it back.
Uh,
So when a teacher is creating an assignment and they put a due date, there's a checkbox now underneath that due date line that says disable submissions after this date. So when I was talking with a couple districts about it, they were like, I don't see it. Like, I don't think, maybe we don't have it yet. That checkbox won't show unless they put a due date on there. So they have to put the due date first. Time is still optional. They don't have to put a time in there, but a date has to be selected for it before that comes. I know that was some of the teachers that I was listening to at the McCall conference were talking about that. They're like, I'm really trying to get my kids to kind of conform a little bit, but there's really no way for me to not accept them except for me to manually say, hey, sorry, you were late, can't take it. So this is something that they can use, but again, something that you want to communicate to tell them that they can do now. Because it's not something that's overly obvious, especially if they're not used to setting
If
due
you're
dates.
not looking for it, if you assume, that's why,
Right.
that's why the back to school is so, Eric, you talked about this during our summer road
Summer
trips.
road bus,
Is
yeah.
this is that's what I was about to say. This is
Mhm.
exactly one of those things where you're doing those back to school addresses, or you're using those fancy layouts we just looked at, whatever.
Yeah.
However, you're communicating those back to school things, those here's what's new, here's what's coming. It's something you'd be throwing in there, absolutely.
He'll
Yeah.
love you because these are,
Because these are
things
things
that
that they've
they
been
want.
They
missing.
want, yeah, they want to know about this too. Like, this is one of
Mhm.
those ones where, like, they want to know this one
Yeah.
because yeah,
Yeah.
like, this is one of those really cool
Maybe
ones.
even hold one of those back for, like, in case something goes wrong, like a
Yeah.
week later.
And you
Yeah.
need like a saving grace.
Keep
Yeah,
one in the
yeah.
Yeah,
back
like,
pocket.
in
Yeah.
case the internet goes down, but the next
Yep.
day we'll say, "Oh, this just came out."
Yeah.
Yep. That's
And
good.
I'm gonna kind of piggyback and cheat because I don't remember when this rolled out, but along with the due date submissions, teachers can set up marking periods in their classes too.
Yeah,
So they
that was
kind of
recent.
go,
Mhm.
yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. So they're able to set those marking periods up to kind of mirror what's in your sys. So they go hand in hand. So while they're setting up those, they can set this up on their assignment so they all get organized nice and neat.
Look at
in their
Andrea
class.
trying to pop one bonus extra update.
You know, we're
You
just popping
always have
knocking over here.
to up us one. So I'm gonna move on to
Yeah.
our one
Let's
cool
talk about
thing.
cool things.
Yeah, so I want to do this little one cool thing app. It could be Google, it could be personal, whatever. And we're each going to go around and talk about our one cool thing. So,
Yeah.
Andrea, let's start with you.
So, because I didn't put it in the doc because I'm over here like, what am I going to talk about?
Surprise us. Yeah.
Right. So I talked about the concert already, so I'm not going to use that.
Wait, what concert? Went to a concert?
Concert that I went to on Wednesday. Yep. So my other one cool thing, because my brain has not been on tech very much, if I'm honest, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard that from me this week, but and Eric will appreciate this. So you guys know I love sports. You guys have seen me talk a little bit of trash in the collaborative. My baseball team, my minor league baseball team that's right here in town. So Grand Rapids, Michigan is where I'm at. It's been called Beer City USA. We've got that title the last couple of years with all of our breweries and our beers that go out to everybody.
Beer City, you said?
Beer City. Yep. Our baseball team pays homage to that, if that's the right word. Dedicates a night to that where they become the Beer City Bung Hammers. And so I have this shirt that is for Beer City Bung Hammers. And when I first, my mom and dad are coming to this game tonight because we are so immature and we just love this night. Of course, they have to do all these different themes. Every time they play a song, they'll insert the word "bung" into the song. So we're cackling the whole night. But a bung hammer, I had to Google this because I fell apart in the store when I first saw it. It's like one of those big, like wooden barrels, like the kegs that they used to put beer in. So the bung itself is the cork, and then obviously the hammer is what they used to hammer the cork into these big wooden barrels. So that is my one cool thing is tonight we are Beer City Bung Hammers. My parents and I are going to be immature at the game. So that is what we're going to do.
Yeah, you need to go, Melissa, to the link I just sent in chat. It's the Beer City Bung Hammers page of apparel, and it's beautiful.
It is. I'm gonna get a new shirt tonight.
There it is. Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are the jerseys that they're wearing tonight. So they look like barrels.
But yeah, hold on. We need to talk afterwards too, because
just look how I want to say cute, but like,
have you guys
look at how cute that little thing is?
Have you heard of Hammerschlagen?
That was brought up too, and I'm not 100% sure what it is.
Okay, that's for next time. And it reminds me of Kinley. It's a game, and I feel like this has to be. It's where there's a nail and you
like in a
one-handed hammer. I don't think it's exactly that, but this reminds me. These are cute. Okay, I was almost gonna get the beep button out when you started talking about this, but it ended at a good spot. All right,
I feel like I had to explain it because
sure did.
You definitely did
have laughing because we laugh at this every time. This is the game that we look the most forward to every year because we're just immature, but it's hilarious. Yeah,
I would too.
Now
It looks fun.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll send you guys videos of things tonight of us, and you're just gonna hear us giggling like little girls in the background, but it's fine.
Can't wait.
In the background.
All right, Eric, what is your one cool thing?
So mine's.
After that Bung Hammer.
I was about to say I should have let you go last. There's no way I can top Bung Hammers, but I'll do my best.
He goes, dang, now we gotta talk about technology.
We need that in the show title.
I'll do my best. I attribute this to my good friends over at The Verge. If you read their website, listen to their podcasts, they're incredible people. And this was on their site of coming up in Chrome 117. In fact, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Is there are we able to put this stuff like in I guess I can put the link in the form if we need to.
Yep, the links to the stuff we will put into the description and everything we'll put in the community as well.
Yeah. Beautiful. So anyway, basically, let me just read the first part here. Google is adding a new feature to the next release of Chrome that will proactively alert you when an extension isn't in the Chrome Web Store. I had no idea this. I guess that's one of those things I never think about.
Yeah,
right?
I'm confused.
I install an extension, and then the extension just kind of lives forever, and I never think about it again unless I notice that, in my toolbar, it's I don't know, a different color or something different. You're right. I guess I've never thought about this, but apparently your extensions, according to this reading, it says the new feature being added as part of Chrome 117 will make it easier to stay on top of extensions that have been removed by a developer, then taken down for violating Chrome Web Store policies, or if they've been marked as malware, which means currently they're not. They're just staying in your browser.
They just live.
You know what? I think this might. I don't know what version it was, but for the Chrome, some version release notes for the Chrome browser, there's a new policy to allow admins to remove extensions that are no longer in the Chrome web store, I think.
I
I
wonder if
remember
that's
saying that.
then.
So
Yeah.
that this would make
Might be
sense that
related,
now
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I know
I
the
had
screenshot
no
there.
Hmm.
They're
idea.
adding more stuff to their little settings page, which I think is
Yeah.
helpful. And yeah, like
Review. Yeah.
it's one of those things. Like I never extensions are
Hmm.
so sit and forget. You know what I mean? Like
They're
Yep.
like the glitter of Google. Like they just can't get rid of them. They're
you
always
can't.
there.
Yeah, you know, like even in the spot they have where they're
I
visible, they're
watched the
not.
light turn
They're
on
still
for
small.
Melissa.
That's my one good thing is you describing the extensions being the glitter and because it doesn't go away. That's genius.
That is
I
glitter.
love that that's there though. I don't know why I didn't connect the dots because I get a lot of the emails from Google for the developer stuff because I'm in the labs thing, and they've been cracking down a lot when it comes to extensions and apps. But I guess I'm like you too. Like I like once it's up there, it's just up there until
I
either
don't really have too many.
until I either remember that it's there or it stops working or something. But so I like that it's going to call that out because I'm sure that was one thing that I will say did get away from us at my district where it was just infinite extensions, like an explosion of glitter. So I feel like once this goes, I'm wondering how they're going to do it. If it's just going to start, things are going to start lighting up, so that way it draws attention to it. It's gonna be like the 4th of July for some of these people if that's how it goes.
It absolutely will. You're right because like
Yeah.
some of them are just like because some people right like when you add an extension they don't go as far as
It
to even
doesn't
add it.
go.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't even add it there, and so you don't even know it exists. Like you'll forget
No.
about it, and that's one of the things. Like one of the, like you know like you mentioned earlier, Andrea, like you have like a yearly cleanup. I do something very similar within my own Chrome browser, and like there will be times where I'll go through and see my extensions list and go, oh my, yeah, I remember installing that 3 years ago and it
Right.
hasn't worked and I don't even know how long because I
Yeah.
never thought about it, right? And
Right.
so like I love the fact that we're gonna get a proactive management now on that. Especially because it's not particularly easy to manage them as it is right now, right? Like it's so
No.
hidden. We need some kind of programmatic way of making sure that we're taking care of our
And
extensions.
I thought
So
they were going to move extensions up in the 3 dot. I thought they were going to move
did
it
they?
up a level, and I've been
That is-
it's under more tools. But I thought extensions was going to be
No,
on that
it's
top
Yeah,
level.
they
mine's
moved
not.
it out now. Yeah. It
Mine's
used to be under it.
yeah,
Yeah.
mine's underneath Google Password Manager now.
Yeah, mine showed up. I love that they broke out the password manager.
They're
That's the
doing
one that
yeah.
I use a lot. But I agree, it's still managing them though. And I've seen that a couple times lately, and I'm curious. I haven't said anything out loud yet, but on a couple of the troubleshooting calls that I hop on, extensions have become more and more of a thing of causing problems, whether it's something that
Oh yeah.
disabled or they turned off and they needed it on. So I think bringing attention to that is going to be really helpful on all fronts that way.
Yeah, and that'll be nice when I'm going through the Chrome release notes for the update streams. I'll definitely be looking for that. 117, you said, Eric?
117. Yep.
Cool.
And 116 just came out. I got the alert from Big Marker that I'm not up to date.
116 came out on Tuesday, and then on the 22nd for Chromebooks.
That's right.
Cool.
That's
Well,
right.
I feel like I should have went first for my one good thing because
Why? What's your one good thing?
well, your 2 things are better than mine.
Wow.
I've got a Geek Speak
Okay.
that I did. So I will put this. There's a little video. I got down to like a minute. I was
Wait, is this your Geek Speak about the headers or no?
No, it's not. That my Geek Speak is. Have you guys ever been in a dock and you have no idea like where does this live? Like a lot of times, like I'll access,
Oh yeah.
and I'm not accessing breadcrumb.
Mhm.
Where is this? Is this shared drive? Is it shared folder? Is it just hanging out in my drive? Whatever. I
All
do
the time.
this every
Possible.
single day.
Yeah.
When you're in the dock, you go up near the top for the title. There's the star, but there's this folder icon with an arrow. You click on that. If you hover
Right.
over it, it's the move folder icon.
Uh-huh.
A little window pops up. Boom. Tells you exactly where you are. And if you're 4, 5, 6, 7 levels in, you can see and you can click back, back, back. You're able to see exactly the breadcrumb trail that you're
Oh.
in. And if you want to move it, you just travel to your folder and click move here. And if you want to, like a lot of times, like I'll be in a meetup planning for Minnesota, I want to go into the 20-second meetup planning for Minnesota because I'm working in there. If you click on the, I don't know what the technical term, open folder in a new tab, it brings you to a new tab right to the folder that document's in. Now I'm there. Now I can do my things.
I want to say that's. I just
Okay.
saw that and I clicked on that so I could see the
I do, yeah.
breadcrumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So you're saying where in the doc itself can I hover to see the breadcrumb now?
Say
In the
that again.
doc itself, you
The
would
doc
you would
itself is where you see it.
No, when you see when you click on the folder icon in the top,
Yeah.
a little thing comes up.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you're in My Drive, it'll just say My Drive. But
Right.
if your folder's in, it will be Minnesota 22nd, Minnesota
Oh yeah.
spring
Yeah.
meetups, virtual.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good geek speak though. I
I
like
think
that.
it's super useful. I
It is
can't
super
wait till
useful.
Google comes out with a easier way to do those things like they did the linkable headings, but
Right.
it is pretty useful, even the way that it works now. So
Yeah.
Agreed.
yeah, and we talked about some things and some links and resources. We will put those in the description for the YouTube recording watching. But I do believe that is the end of the show. I feel like we all need Rob, I need you to make a new
Well, no, we'll wait until
image.
episode 3 because I made them cups, so we all have the same cups.
Fine.
But me being
I just don't want to look
the
like
average
I'm
adult that I
drinking
am,
alcohol
could not get
on
to the
cover photo.
could not
You
get
guys
to the
look
post
cute with
office
your cups, and looks like a
It's
tall boy.
tall boy.
Big
with a tall boy. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. What we'll do is we'll get our cups. We'll jump on a thing and we'll cheers and send it to Rob, and
Okay.
he can do it for us.
All right. All right, Eric. All right, Andrea. Think
Until
that
next
was
time,
a pretty
friends.
successful
I like that. I
second
like the flow of
episode.
that one. Yeah.
It's good.
All right.
Just
We gotta
remember
have a
glitter
clever-
of Google and bung hammers.
Right.
The highlights for the
Bung
day.
Hammer.
We're gonna need to have somebody be jotting down the show titles, and so we remember what to call the episodes here.
Yeah.
And if you've got any catchy intro or outro,
Yeah, if you got intro and outro songs suggestions, let us know. Ones that won't get flagged for copyright.
I uploaded a Taylor Swift one, Eric, to play before, and I don't want to get.
They were like,
right.
"Nah, ma'am,
No.
not today."
I never want to offend Taylor Swift ever.
No.
Better not.
Never.
It's gonna be a cruel summer for you.
I'm a Swiftie through and through.
Ooh,
All right,
okay.
everybody, have a great rest of your Friday, an awesome weekend, and we will see you around the community.
Yep. Bye, guys.
See
Bye.
ya.